Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast for another segment of 20 random questions. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria, and today's guest comes all the way from boxing prospect Owen. How you doing, Owen?
Hello. I'm all good. How are you?
I'm good.
We're breaking up. Hold on.
So, yeah, are we good? Okay.
Yeah. I think.
So I understand that you have a big fight coming up.
Yes. March the 16th. Birmingham Resorts World Arena. Fighting a top lad, 12-0. Ethan James for the WBO European and English titles. So yeah, really looking forward to that fight. 6 weeks yesterday it was. So camp's in full swing and everything's going really well at the minute.
So are you pretty, obviously you're excited about this, but this is going to be your toughest fight of your career, right?
Yeah. My easily the toughest fight of my career. You know, he's a very good boxer. He's got a great amateur pedigree. Biggest fight to date, but this is what my ever since I turned pro, this is what we've been looking for. We're obviously looking for big fights, and we finally got what we wanted. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
And both of you guys are undefeated?
Yeah, he's 12-0, I think, and I'm 9-0. So yeah, as they say, someone's always got to go.
Yeah, and hey, if it's got to go, it might as well be for some belts, right?
Of course, exactly. There's no point of if we can get some sort of titles on the line, which obviously we have, then it makes it that bit more interesting.
Yeah, it makes you a little hungrier too.
Of course.
So once again, that's March 16th.
Yes, March 16th, Birmingham.
And is it going to be on any TV or just TV over there?
Yeah, I know it's TNT Sports Beat, which used to be known as BT Sports. I'm not sure if Queensbury are linked with within the States. I'm pretty sure they are, but I'm not sure what channel it is on.
Okay, well, we'll just say people that want to see it will have to look on social media and check out your page.
Yes, of course.
So now I know you're on Facebook. Where else are you on social media that they can look you up?
I'm also on Instagram, just Owen Cooper, but owencoop.er. Yeah, I don't really dabble too much on Twitter. I'm not really too good with Twitter, but Instagram and Facebook, they're the main places to find me.
Okay, so you ready for these random 20 questions?
I'm ready.
Okay, so question 1, tell me about your background and your upbringing a little bit, where you're from, your parents, your siblings, not boxing yet. I just want the fans to understand, how you got brought up and where you got brought up at.
So I live in Worcester, United Kingdom, England. I was fortunate enough to had a good upbringing, playing out in the estate with the other kids and stuff like that. I've got a brother as well, Jamie, a little bit younger than me, but we're very close. I had a good upbringing. My parents really supportive, all my family really supportive, and yeah, that's the backbone of me.
Okay. Question 2, how did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
So my dad was a boxer. My dad was a journeyman, but he was a journeyman, so he was on the other side of boxing. He boxed just to try and provide for us as a family, bring money in when we were younger. And he was the main reason. I played a lot of football. Well, you call it soccer, we call it football. Yeah, I played football as a youngster, and then I thought I'd just go to the boxing gym just to try and get a bit of fitness. And yeah, I got sparring in my first session, and I never looked back. I just loved the sport from there, and yeah, so that's how I got into boxing.
Okay. Question 3, do you have any hobbies outside the sport of boxing?
Recently took up golf. I enjoy playing golf now. So yeah, whenever I have a bit of free time, I tend to play golf. Nice and relaxed. Well, depending on how well you play on the day, it can be relaxing, but it can also be very stressful. But a lot of the time, it's nice and relaxing.
Okay. Question 4. If you could be any superhero, who would you be and why?
Any superhero? I like Superman just because he can fly, but then he's also crazy strong. I think he's the full package as a superhero. So yeah, I'd be Superman, I think.
Okay. Question 5. Do you have any boxing superstitions?
Boxing superstitions. Well, you mean like before a fight or what I do? Yeah.
Yeah, anything to do with like you got to wrap certain hands first or do a
Yeah.
certain routine?
I always put my right glove on first all the time. I don't know why. Yeah, I'd say that's the only one I've got. I always put my right glove on first. Maybe because that's supposed to be the power hand. So yeah, I put that one on first all the time. That without fail.
Okay, question 6. What's your favorite boxing movie?
Boxing move. It's got to be Rocky. I'm not sure which one. I like them all. Maybe the one with the Russian. Is that 4?
4. Yep, that's 4.
Yeah, yeah. That I think that's the favorite boxing movie.
Ivan Drago.
Yeah. What's your favorite movie?
Oh man, I like a lot of box movies, but I mean the Rockies, they stand out. They're great. What's the older one? Raging Bull is a good one.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, yeah, that's a good one as well. Yeah.
I mean Ali's a good one.
I haven't actually watched that one. Is that the one with Will Smith?
Yes.
I've never actually watched that.
Okay, you're gonna have to watch that.
I want to go and I'll let you know what I think.
Okay. All right, question 7. What's the one thing that you hate the most in training?
Track work. We do a lot of track work, a lot of sprints. I feel like that's the worst kind of I lose sleep the night before thinking that I've got to go to track. So yeah, that's the worst for me.
I gotta be honest, I hated burpees.
Burpee, yeah, yeah, they're not far behind either. They're not enjoyable.
Just mentioning that word made me sick to my stomach. All right, question 8. What's the best advice you ever got from another boxer and who was it?
Keep your hands up, and that was from my dad. Yeah, keep your hands up. I don't think that's a bad piece of advice. Keep your hands up. You're less likely to take punishment. So yeah, probably keep your hands up, nice and simple.
Okay. All right, question 9. Who's the one boxer, alive or dead, that you would want to sit down and have a conversation with?
I think there's 2. Well, I'd probably mostly Ricky Hatton. That was who I mainly watched coming up as a kid. And yeah, just his story about how he got to the highest height, he also went right down to the lowest lows, and yeah, that's the one person that I'd like to have a sit down with and just listen to his life story.
Okay. Question 10. If you could box in a celebrity boxing match and your opponent could be any actor or athlete, who would you want to fight?
I would like to fight maybe, well, Sylvester Stallone, but when he was younger. Just because obviously as a boxer you come up watching the boxing movies, and that's like that's what you dream. You know, the story of like when he fought the Russian about how he wasn't meant to win and stuff. Like I just think him in his younger days, that would be the one.
Okay. Question 11. Who are some of the bigger name boxers that you've sparred with?
Bigger name. Well, we sparred with. Can't think now off the top of my head. Sparred with British champion, British and Commonwealth champion Echo Essuman. We're sparring. Sparred with Sam Eggington, which Sam Eggington won. I don't know. I'm not sure if you're familiar. From UK, he won the IBO world title, and then he's fighting soon for the EBU European title. Can't think who else I sparred with. God, there is names there, but I can't think off the top of my head. They're just the recent ones.
Okay. Question 12. What's your best boxing memory in your career up to this point?
Probably winning my first, probably winning the Midlands title as a pro. So in the UK, the UK is all set off into probably, as you would say, it's like states, like different areas, and the Midlands, which is the middle of the UK. That was the area title that I won. That was my first title that I won as a pro. And yeah, that was probably the best highlight of my boxing career so far, winning my first professional title.
Okay. All right. Question 13. Can you tell me an interesting story so far out of your boxing career?
Interesting story. I'm not a very interesting person. I'm not too sure off the top of my head.
It can be anything to do with boxing.
Anything to do with boxing. Oh, you've really got me there.
Any stories from training camps or something in the gym or on the way to a fight or something to do with a fight, an opponent?
Honestly, I can't think off the top of my head. Can we come back to that one?
Sure.
Sorry.
All right. Question 14. Why do you box?
For my love of the sport, it's something that I've done now for 10 years, over 10 years. I like the structure it gives you in life. The person it's kind of made me to be. It teaches you discipline and respect. Yeah, that's probably the main reasons. You know, I wouldn't like my son to fight. I don't think, or if I have a son or a daughter. But I mean, as in, I'd like the training. You know, the regiment having that having that, like I said, that structure. And yeah, I think it teaches you good values.
Okay. Question 15. If you could win a trophy or an award in something other than boxing, what would it be?
A trophy or an award other than boxing. I'd like to do something to do with like charities. Being that's something that I pride myself in doing and wanting to do more is giving to charities. So if like, not that I wouldn't like any not that I expect any recognition for it, but I just mean if it was to be for something, off the top of my head, it would be for, I don't know, helping a charity or something like that.
Okay. Question 16. If you were to go to outer space, what two people would you take with you?
Probably two people. I'd take my dad because I know I'd take my dad definitely because he doesn't like flying just like me. So he could we could bond over not enjoying flights, and probably my girlfriend just because I think that she'd enjoy it.
Okay. All right. Question 17. Who are some of the musical artists that you listen to when you train?
I like Drake. Drake's probably my favorite. Someone that I've listened to from very, very young. And there's loads. There's an artist from the UK. There's loads. Artists from the UK, Nines, JK, Freda. There's loads, but I'd say Drake is my favorite of all time.
Okay. All right. Question 18. What animal best fits your personality?
Animal best personality. I would say a lion, standard, because I'd like to think that I'm quite like calm in. Why would I say a lion's calm? I don't know. I'm quite relaxed and just chilled, but then obviously when push comes to shove and it's time to work in fight, I got that side of me as well. That's not so nice. So I feel like a lion's not really fussed too much about what's going on around him. He just takes everything in his stride. But then when it comes to hunt, he's dangerous.
Okay. All right. Question 19. If you had to do a commercial and promote a product, what product would you be willing to promote?
I'd love to do. Well, I'd do anything, especially to do with fast food. Especially if it means that I get, a deal with them and I get free food out of them. McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, Five Guys, anything like that. Anything that's willing to give me a bit of free food, I'd do any of them.
I'm sure your coach is going to be real happy to hear that answer. Especially when you're in training camp.
I know, yeah, that sounds great, does it? But the truth.
All right. Question 20. Are you artistic in any way with your hands as far as building things, painting, drawing, photography, mechanics, anything like that?
Well, I before boxing, when I first left, when I finished school, I was working with my dad as a painter and decorator. I've done that for quite a lot of years, but it's only been recently now that I've been able to finish and put to the boxing full time. But yeah, like I said, a painter and decorator. I've done that for 5 years or so from when I left school.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go back to that one question. So I hope you got a story for me. Can you tell me an interesting story from your boxing career? Can be anything.
Interesting story. An interesting story. So my best friend passed away in 2020, and it was like around the COVID time, and like a lot of boxers, I think we all found ourselves at loose ends, and we didn't know what was going on. And I remember I was at his grave, and I was just a bit down in myself, and like I tend like to talk to the grave, and I was sent to talk to him, and I was saying like I need something just to get me going again. Like at the time I was 2-0 or 3-0 at the time. I was boxing on like the small hall shows. I was talking to it. I was just saying like I just need something to pick me up, to get me going. Like I need something to take off, and then literally as that happened, my coach called me and said Frank Warren's in. Like we've had a call from the manager. Frank Warren's interested in signing you, and to me that was. Like it still is like it's massive to being able to have the backing of a promoter like Frank Warren. So yeah, that's the only thing that I can think of as a boxing story that sticks with me. And yeah, that was it. It was just obviously being like speaking to my best friend that passed away, and then asking, I just saying like I just need something to happen, and then yeah, we having the call saying that we had interest from a big promoter. That was amazing to me. Something I'll never forget.
I'd say that's a pretty interesting story.
I didn't want to, because we're having a bit of a joke, a bit of a laugh. I didn't want to bring up my pal, but yeah, that was that's the only story that I've got and it sticks with me.
Well, I think that's a pretty cool, interesting story. I mean, you're at the grave of your best friend talking about boxing,
yeah,
and you're feeling down yourself, not knowing where your career is going to go, and you get a phone call. Now, the phone call was right at the grave?
At the graveside,
yeah. From your coach. So I mean that's like that's a piece in a movie.
I don't like say it like because it doesn't sound like that's. I know what you say. Like it doesn't sound real. I remember my coach called me, and he told me, and I said like I'll just call you back in a minute. I put the phone, and I just started crying. Like I couldn't believe it. I had like interest from a big promoter. And then yeah, obviously it all followed through, and I ended up signing with Frank Warren. So yeah, it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, but I mean, things happen in life like that all the time where, you ask for a sign or something and things just come out of nowhere. So, I mean, that's a pretty cool story.
Thank you.
Well, if you ever write a book, you definitely have to put that in there.
Yeah, definitely. That will be in there if I write a book.
Well, listen, I appreciate you taking time to come on and do the 20 questions. Once again, let's promote your fight one more time. It's March 16th. And who's your opponent?
Ethan James for the WBO and the WBO European and English title.
Okay, and hopefully the Americans will get to watch it. If not, yeah. I know we'll see you. What was the last one you were on? Was it DAZN?
No, with Frank Warren. That's BT. Well, TNT Sports now it's called. It used to be known as BT Sports, TNT Sports. But I'm almost certain that there is a link with to one of the American channels with TNT Sports.
Okay. Well, all the fans out there, if you guys are looking for new boxers to watch out for and prospects, definitely check out Owen Cooper. Check him out on Facebook, Instagram. Look for his fights announcements. I'm sure eventually you can find some of his fights on YouTube as well. And if you got anything to say to the fans or to promote anything, go ahead, Owen.
Just thank you for people tuning in. I really appreciate it, and yeah, hopefully you get to watch me on March the 16th, and the plan is to put on a show. So yeah, thank you everyone.
All right, stay tuned, and the truth has spoken.